off trying to clean this up. Got most of it, but we're still trying to get some help to get that tree out of the way. That center one right there has to go out. Part of the root came up, and that tree's dead. It exploded everywhere. And the neighbors were kind enough to rent a mulcher, so they're cleaning up all the branches and grinding the branches up into mulch. So, you can see there. She told me that her, her stove was fried by the power surge. Her microwave is gone, but she still has a refrigerator. So one of the neighbors is loaning her a microwave, and I have a couple of freestanding burners that she can use, so I brought them over. And she's, I guess the people who got the grinder, they went and told them what happened, and they practically got it for nothing. So, and of course you got adjusters and everybody else coming over here looking at the roof. I guess it's a fairly new roof, and there was some damage to it, but I know there's some damage underneath the roof, underneath the thing there. So anyway, we're working hard. It's hot. At least it was good weather for this. That's where the water thing was, and the cover for the water disappeared. Over here, you see the root of the tree sticking out. There's a hole there. The root came up out of the ground. All this ground here is all soft because that tree is coming out of the ground. And her mirror came off. That's been damaged. That's been moved away from the building. Her car got kind of banged up. It's a mess. Now I gotta go find my dog. I so deserve this. So, as you know, we had a little issue up the street with an exploding tree and a few other things. So, us neighbors got together, and one of them rented one of those mulching trees, or you stick the tree in it and it turns it into sawdust. One of those things. And we together cleaned up all the wood that we could find, which was nice. You know, so now their yard is all cleaned up. We swept everything out to the street. The city, that was funny. This morning, first thing in the morning, I walked up there, and we were all standing there, kind of surveying the carnage, and we were like, okay, to clean the street, because there is stuff all over the street. It's just, you know, really bad. And so we were standing there looking at each other going, how many brooms do we have? Do we want to go this way? You know, and trying to figure out how to get the mess off the streets. And while we're standing there, a street sweeper comes around the corner. It's the wrong day for the street sweepers, and they usually don't go up and down our street as it is. And so I walked over there and told him that we were just discussing how to clean up the mess. And he goes, well, I saw what happened on the news last night, and I told my boss, and he said, get one of those and head over there. So he did. And so made our life easier. He says, just take everything and, you know, outside the big branches, just sweep everything out into the street. We'll take it from there. So everything, you know, we just took brooms and just started sweeping like crazy out into the street. He must have gone up and down, I don't know, a dozen or more times, just trying to get it all cleaned up. But within an hour, it was cleaned up. It was great. So that was done. police officer came over trying to figure out who blew up the house. He didn't hear the story on the news to bring him up to date. And then, what else happened? Oh, then the people for the water, the city water comes by, and actually with it, we have a, you're allowed to water only on certain days, so they have somebody that drives through, and if you're watering on the wrong day, they'll cite you for it. Well, that's what this guy was doing, actually. And so I flagged him down, and I said, come on over here, and he's like, what? And I told him what, explained what happened. He goes, I saw that on the news. And I was like, yeah, this is the house. And, I know the thing for the city water is around here somewhere, but the lid, the heavy metal lids, if you have a house, there's this big heavy metal, kind of like a manhole type thing, but it's about this big around, fits right over the hole where the city gets to your water. And it blew to the heavens, and we haven't found it. So come to find out, they did find it. It was somewhere else, and it was buried underneath rubble. So, but I told them what happened, and so they put a cone out and had somebody come out, and they had to dig in there. There was a lot of dirt. They had to dig in there, find out where the thing was. Come to find out, some of the stuff got destroyed from the lightning. It just fried a lot of the stuff. So they replaced everything, put a new cover on there, and that's all good. The gal said she was planning to redo her rock garden, and now her rock garden is all over the neighborhood. So she says, well, half the work is done. And then, like I said, one of the neighbors rented a thing, and we cleaned up all the big pieces of wood, and it stretched 3 houses. It was 2 houses for sure, and then there was a bit on the 3rd house. So I kind of started this end, someone else started that end. We just kind of worked towards the center, which is where that thing was. Found out where the lightning actually struck. There was power surge like crazy, of course, in the house, and so half of the power is gone, and the other half is not. So she has a refrigerator, but she does not have a stove or means to cook anything. So one of the neighbors says, we got an extra microwave, you can use it. And I says, normally when I travel, I have these little hot plate things that you can cook on, because it's cheaper to cook your own meals while you're on the road. So I had a couple of hot plates, and I says, let me go get those. And so I brought them over for her, and I says, you can have them until mid-July. I need them by then. And so now she's got at least a means to cook a meal if she needs to. And we did find out she did have a grill. Now the big problem is the tree itself. When the lightning struck, okay, we got 3 trees, okay? This tree, right into the roots, that's where the lightning actually struck. And it stripped, dirt and everything out of the way. And then the current flowed to another tree over here, and you can see cracks all the way up the tree, and the bark blew out. Needless to say, the branches and everything else blew out. So we got this kind of bare stump that's about 50 feet in the air, or if not better. And it's very wobbly because the ground, it also pushed the tree up, and so some of the roots are bare, and I don't know, about 5 feet away from the tree all the way around. So it's a lot, and so it's obvious that tree's got to come down before it lands on someone or something. So we got to put our heads together, and I guess if we can't find a contractor who's going to work for cheap, hopefully donate, we're going to do it ourselves. We found a chainsaw. I figured out what it was. We found a chainsaw. We got the ladder. We got some rope, and we got some muscle. And I have cut down trees before. I cut down my own trees, and they're big bushy things. So I know how to do it. I just don't have the physical means of being able to do it. So I found someone else who kind of knows what he's doing. So we're gonna put our plan together, because you got to do it right. Because if you don't do it right, somebody's going to get hurt. But thankfully, we got enough space. What we're going to do is get up as high as we can, and you have to start at the top and kind of work your way down, but we got to be careful because that tree may go down while we're trying to deal with it. And the whole plan is to pull, as we're doing the branches, is to pull the branches towards the street. And of course we're going to have the street blocked while we're doing our project. So, and we got all kinds of other cutting utensils, equipment, saws and whatnot. So we're going to try to cut that sucker down to a manageable size. That's the plan. So, and I'm also contacting the church. I contacted the church and talked to them and asked them if they happen to have a professional tree trimming person, because that would be the best way to go. You know, Switus is the way to go. And someone suggested that maybe the insurance company will pay for this, but right now the insurance company is saying, act of God, you know, we don't pay for that part, and so we're going to see what happens. So anyway, we got a lot of work done today. I'm tired. I am covered in sawdust. I came home from working over there. My son says, you're hot, you're sweaty, and you smell like sawdust. And I says, I don't just smell. It's in everything. I mean, I seriously need a shower. So, and my lovely doctor said I can now have more fruit. Well, he wants me to have more fruit to get the more fibers. So, in addition to my half a cup of yogurt and my 1 cup of strawberries or whatever fruit I'm having, I'm supposed to have an additional cup of like blackberries, raspberries, or blueberries. So I got blackberries in here, and my magic little potion stuff that makes it taste all kinds of yummy. And it is so good. I haven't eaten much today. I have worked my tail off. I think I earned something like 1,500 calories just working. So that's been my day, and I guess I better just get this online so you guys can see what's happening.